lately I've been in. So he's feeling it. Shannon, are you? Let's not forget LeBron. He's 37 years old. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how impressive has he been?
He's been a 10, averaging 32.5 points a game over the last 17 games. And as Jenny mentioned, he's 37 years of age at year 19. I think he's disappointed that as well as he's playing, it hasn't resulted in more team wins. But as we start to age, as we saw with Tom Brady, you need better players around you as you start to age. Tom Brady, Skip, if you say Tom Brady was the same player in New England as he was in Tampa, you saw the results were a lot different because the talent wasn't the same. He didn't have a Mike Evans. He didn't have a Chris Godwin. He didn't have that offensive line that was able to shore things up and keep him from getting hit. So now you put better talent around him, you see the results. Well, hopefully AD coming back, that will produce some more wins. But for a guy to be in year 19, to be averaging, 29 points a game, only one other guy has averaged at least 15 points in year 19. That was Kobe. He averaged 22 when he missed the bulk of the season, Skip, with that torn rotator cuff. He's shooting 52% from the field, which is the highest he's shot since he's been in L.A. He's shooting almost a career high from the free throw line. So, Skip, he's playing unbelievable. The only downside is, as well as he's playing, it hasn't resulted in more wins. But for him to do, nobody. I guarantee you, if you'd ask LeBron, if you'd ask him, say, LeBron, what you think your numbers will be before the season? I can assure you, he wasn't going to say, I'm going to be averaging 29 points a game, Skip, shooting 52% from the field. He's playing unbelievable. The only disappointing thing is, Skip, we're what, 500, under 500?
You're a game under. You're 23 and 24.
Put it like this, Skip. If they were, whatever, 23 and 24, so that's 47 games. If they were 30 and 17, LeBron James would be the runaway MVP favorite with these kind of numbers. He's getting a little buzz, but it's hard to get on the MVP wagon with both feet, considering their game under 500. But I'm at a 10 as far as impressive meter. I'm disappointed it hasn't resulted in more team wins.
So, scale of 1 to 10, impressive meter for LeBron James on one of the great offensive tears of his career. I'll give it a 3 because of 23 and 24, because it is not remotely contributing to winning. In fact, it's not even making a dent, because this was after the game in question at Miami on Sunday evening that got sort of swept under the carpet because of the incredible football that was going on.
Yeah.
But I had it on, and I had one eye on it, and LeBron's team trailed by 26 points in that game. Did make a late run that made it kind of interesting, but you never got the feeling they were actually going to pull it off.
Right.
It would have been the greatest Laker comeback in 20 years, but they didn't pull it off, down from 26. And just a weekend ago, they lost by 37 at Denver. So things are going south, and farther south.
Right.
Where I don't know how Frank Vogel, still has his job. At some point, somebody's got to be the scapegoat for the quote-unquote GOAT, and it would seem like he would have to go. Although now the latest reports are that he seems to be okay. But you're down by 26 at Miami, and they don't have Kyle Lowry or Tyler Hero. That's scary bad to me.
Right.
Okay, so I'm here to suggest to you that LeBron James is turning into Russell Westbrook in mentality. Maybe it's contagious. Maybe he's been infected by Russ, who's the all-time solo act stat machine. And now it just feels to me like LeBron has said, hell with it, I'm a stat machine. I'm going to get mine. I don't care what you guys do. I'm just going to go get mine every night. I'm going to get 30-plus. And he's trying to make the case that I'm doing it with great efficiency. He said, I'm shooting efficient from the free throw line. I'm shooting efficient from the field. Well, I'll give you the field, but the rest of it, like he said after the game, he said, I didn't shoot the 3-ball well tonight, but all 8 of them felt great. Well, I had one eye on the game, and there was a shot taken about 8 minutes left in the third quarter. If we could see this is one of he went 1 for 8 from the three-point line, and this is the one that felt great. It felt great. That might have missed by 3 feet left, and he said all 8 of them felt great. Well, seriously? That felt great, LeBron? I don't think that felt great. Maybe it felt great when it left his hand. Well, that's scary if that felt great, because let's look harder at the stats, shall we? Okay, so right now, LeBron James is attempting almost 8 threes a game. He had 8 the other night. It's 7.9 is the exact stat. Okay, so what is he shooting from 3 right now? It's 35.5%. Well, trust me, that's not very good, because that ranks 92nd of 156 qualified three-point shooters. So it's not even average.
Well, he's hit a rough patch the last couple of games, Skip, but he was at one point, he was shooting about 38%, which is very good.
He's a career 36, so he's fallen back to the mean.
Right.
He just is what he is. And he is shooting it a little better from the free throw line. He said, I'm very efficient from the free throw line. 75.6%.
Yeah, you see that. I'm about to give me some due on that one.
Okay, that ranks 76th of 106 qualified. 76th of 106 qualified. It's not very good. It sounds good for LeBron by his standards, but it's not by anybody else's standards.
But you got to base it on what he's doing. But what about the scoring? What about the efficiency in which he's shooting the basketball from the floor, at the rim,
he
in the
is
paint?
getting to the rim, and he is finishing fairly consistently. He didn't for a while earlier this year, but lately he's been finishing. He's 6'9", 260 pounds, and he finally woke up and wised up and said, they still can't keep me from the rim. Just take it in there, take it in hard. I'm ambidextrous. I'm left-handed by birth. I can do both.
Right.
And he's making a lot of shots at the rim, and that works. It translates, but it doesn't translate into winning, because he's ranked 208th in defensive win shares.
But Skip, I think the thing is that, see, you are, but see, if you just, I'm just basing it on how impressive it is for him and what he's doing. Okay, granted, it's not, but Skip, I mean, the guy's averaging 30, giving you 38 and 6 on a nightly basis.
Second to KD in scoring overall.
Yes.
Okay, I give you that, but look what's happening. His 8 three-point attempts a game ranks 16th in the league. That's pretty high. You're top 20 in attempts. Well, again, you rank 92nd of 156 qualified three-point shooters. So you're shooting way too many and not making enough. And it's hurting your ability to compete in the basketball game, right?
No, that's not. No, what's hurting their ability is that they don't have guys that can do what they once could do.
Okay, so let's look at shots attempted. He's all the way up at 21. It's 20.9. That's the 4th most shots taken in the league. In the league right now. He's 4th, and he's not very far behind Paul George, believe it or not. He's not playing at this moment, but he's at 21.4. Jason Tatum's 21.1. Luke is at 21.0. So it's going to fluctuate. He's right in the mix for taking the most shots of anybody in the league.
But 20 shots for someone of LeBron's caliber is not a lot of shots. Now, I do think that's going to fall back some once AD, because now, Skip, AD's going to come back. You're probably going to try to start with AD running the offense through AD, letting him get his rhythm back. So I believe that's going to probably fall back. I don't know if he can keep average. I don't know if he can average 29 points a game, but that's what's needed, Skip. If LeBron James doesn't score, where the hell is scoring coming from?
Well, apparently that's what he thinks, because all of a sudden, 2 years ago in the bubble when they won their championship, that year he averaged 10.2 assists, which, guess what, led the National Basketball Association. He's now plummeted to 6.3 assists per game. So 10.2 leading down to 6.3. That's a big drop-off per game.
But also, he didn't have a guy on his team that was averaging 9 assists a game. Russell is averaging 9 assists a game. So now it was needed different. AD was also averaging 26 points a game.
Okay.
Now AD no longer there. Okay, Russ, you handle facilitating. I'll still get you 6, but I'm needed more as a scorer. Okay. And remember, Skip, in his career, he's really never said, okay, you just got to score.
Okay.
He's always had to score, rebound, and assist.
Okay, and by the way, your man LeBron James is now tied for 3rd as we speak in minutes played in the league. He's playing high minutes.
What did he tell you? He said, you remember? They put a franchise on my back at 18.
Okay.
So I don't know
but
what
he was 18. Now he's 37. You really like that?
Got to carry another franchise.
Okay. So he finally admits in the same interview the other night that He said it's natural, it's only human to look at who's above you in the scoring ranks and see where you are and see if it's even possible.
Right.
Well, you can't tell me he's got his eye on Kareem. He said, I've never chased a record. Well, he's chasing Kareem because the clock is ticking. He needs 2,006 points, and I believe he can get them.
Yeah.
But he's just saying, I got to get them how I get them. I'm going to be shooting. I'm going to be jacking up more threes because 3 counts more than 2.
But here's the thing, Skip. Do you think he was chasing Kareem at 15,000? Do you think he was chasing Kareem at 20,000? No. I mean, you're this close. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes,
it's just like
Kareem.
Brady. Brady wasn't chasing Brett Favre. Whoever had the most passing yards at the time when he was at 20,000 yards. But once he got within, say, 5,000, 6,000 yards of Drew Brees, you're like, well, hold on. I mean, it was Peyton Manning ended up having the record when and then Drew had it, and then he caught them. It's like, hold on, man. I'm like 2 years. I'm like a year.
Yep.
I'm like 6 games.
Which is why I don't believe he loves AD even coming back. I think AD is going to get in his way of chasing Kareem.
We're going to get their record.
Yeah.
We too close not to, Skip.
Okay. But it's all about chasing Kareem.
No.
You're not chasing Dubs.
Yeah, we chase Skip. They're eluding us. That record, can see that record stationary. Them Dubs moving. You know, we got Denver one night. We got Phoenix. We got Golden State. Now we got the Nets. So them Dubs, they hard to catch. We can't corral them thing. Kareem, that record stationary, Skip. So as we tick, that record doesn't move. So we gonna get it. We gonna get it. We gonna be like 1,000 points short going to the next year.
LeBron James, ultimate stat machine.
40,000.
Way to go.
Doesn't Skip.
Way to go.
We only got 35, 10. I mean, we got 10,000 rebounds, Skip.
Yep.
About to have 10,000 assists. We're gonna have 40,000, 10,000. Do you think there'll ever be a guy to do that?
Well, all I know is LeBron's going to be good for business at your restaurant because you only serve losers, and he's going to be living at your restaurant.
Hey, Skip.